Hello. Good morning. I am having a good day so far. It is in the morning and I am at the gas station. Getting some coffee. And I have slept pretty good last 2 days. I guess it was needed. And it was also a thing that I kind of don't want to talk about it, so I am a little like some of my compartmentalization and stuff over the past couple wherever and dealing with this stuff is on purpose, because there's some of the stuff that I'm just don't 100% know exactly how deep it goes, and so I have to wait. So I just, God, my hair is coming out. Kind of talk about stuff a lot. Some of it isn't really accurate. I'm I go back and forth because I've also, what it is I'm dumb, people who really don't know what they're talking about, who are just saying shit. People sometimes just say shit to you, especially when you deal with a lot of people, and also, some people are just really stupid that you come in contact with. But, so I am still having, seizures. They're mini seizures. It's not that big of a deal. It is in the long run, but, I mean, it's not really that huge of a deal kind of thing. But they're normal, and for a very long time, and because of the medications I was on, I was having seizures that wouldn't stop. So those aren't normal. That's not okay. Ooh, this is good. And that is purely because of the medication they give you for them and stuff, which is bipolar medications. That's crazy. So, I'm on an antidepressant for the seizures. That makes them little, ooh. Everybody's saying exactly what kind of shape my car is actually in, but anyways, not that big of a deal, because you're not ever going to stop. I've had them my entire life, not as frequently as I do, and hopefully, I will go through long periods of time where they're not that big of a deal. Or I don't know. I'm still learning about them and stuff, because they're totally a thing now. So hopefully they'll fade away, but they'll probably never fade away. So what happens is, if I fight them, if I don't know that that's what's going on, if I get any kind of emotionally irritated about it or anything and don't roll through with it, then I have side effects in the days after. I get really tired. I have more and then when I'm sleeping, like I'm waking up hot and sweaty and stuff, but actually still not as bad as they were, because since I put that cooling blanket down. So over the past 48 hours, I slept probably 30 hours of that. And, like, at first, like, the first two, like, 6 to 8 hours that I slept, I woke up, like, ugh. I wake up, eat, go back to sleep, wake up, ugh, you know, and, so, last night, I woke up at 8, and it was all stuff that's pretty relatively, like, low in salt, and sugar, but I went to sleep around 1:30. I woke up at 7:30. It was good. Like, and it is, like, the fact that was able to sleep that much at the point in time in my cycle that I was able to sleep that much is directly related to my sleep disorder. So, but the fact that I got the best sleep at the end of that whole situation versus at the beginning is the epilepsy. So, that's pretty amazing. Because that's not how sleep works. It's not something you get better at, you know, over a period of time like that, and then wake up, like, brand new, you know, on Monday morning. That is a sign of a neurological situation. So that's interesting. Today Monday? Yeah, today's Monday. I met my Colombian friend over the weekend. That was nice to finally put a face with him, because I was just not believing that it wasn't somebody fucking with me that I know. But he's been talking to me for 2 years. Not, like, continuously. Like, I went, like, 7-8 months where he didn't text me. And he texted me again. He's younger than me. He's, like, 30. He's silly a little bit. Not who much, like. But like I said, he's 30. Sweet dude. Works a lot. Works for BMW. Pretty normal dude. Pretty trusting and stuff, and so I need that. It's nice to have that kind of stimulation. It's nice to have somebody checking on me every day, asking me how I'm doing. Do I need anything, like, for no reason? So that's pretty amazing. I don't ever need anything from a stranger, so I don't ever tell them that, you know, I need anything. So, but it's really nice to, you know, to be asked. I mean, he's a little silly. Like, he's definitely somebody who's got, like, ADHD. Because, like, he wouldn't be writing a random stranger. Like, if, you know, in the first place, if there wasn't something weird about him and whatnot. And, he says that he messaged me, like, accidentally, or, like, wrong number kind of thing, and I answered back. I was like, okay. But, ooh! Oh, that doesn't hold that. Usually sweet. And, not too weird. At all. So, he hadn't done or said anything at all that's made me feel uncomfortable. And that's pretty amazing. The chances of that happening for somebody, like, that talks to me that much is, like, pretty slim, so he's obviously a good conversationalist. He's cute, like, super cute person. Very clean cut. So that's nice. He does have a little bit of an attitude sometimes, and but he also tells me I'm mean, so, which I am, so I'm like, you know, it's nice that he's honest, like, with me and stuff. I value that. If I'm mean to you and you tell me and you call it out, like, it's nice to have that. So, he thinks it's funny. So, and it is, like, I do, you know, I am funny. I don't ever really mean unless, like, I'm really scared anyways. Like, it's not anything where I'm, like, mean. I'm, like, just get upset. So, ooh, excuse me. You know, super thankful. That is one of those things that's, like, I get a little roundabout because I'm, like, really thankful to have, like, you know, someone there, like, talking to me like he is. Like, it was, like, kind of it's been blowing my mind. Actually, I was, like, kind of bullied him into meeting me, and he did. We sat in the car and, talked to each other through, like, Google Translator and stuff. But, you know, thinks I'm funny, and also thinks I'm really pretty, and but he's sitting there, like, telling me, teaching me Spanish and stuff, and he's really like, no, you know, correcting and stuff. It's fun to talk with, so that's cool. Like, that's really great. I really look down on that situation. That's fun for me. It's weird, but I'm like, this is a lot of fun. That's a really awesome surprise. So, damn. So him and his, I guess he lives with his, like, brother or, like, cousin or whatever, and, like, they have an apartment, and they have a good bit of money too, so I'm like, that's good. You know, he's not, like, asking me for money or, you know, and anything like that at all. In fact, he's like, you know, do you need anything, and I'm just like, you know, because I don't know him, kind of thing. Also, up until this weekend, I didn't know if it wasn't somebody that was fucking with me. So, also, he has ADHD, so I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna take advantage of somebody that's so, like, willing. I think that's wrong. You know, I don't need anything anyway, so, it's a joy to talk to people and have friends, so it's like, you know, trying to work and stuff. And on that subject, I actually had a, not really a compliment, but like a funny situation yesterday talking to my friend Jeff, and I was like, gonna help him with some stuff this week, and he was talking about payment and stuff like that, and he's like talking about is because he's still his long time friend, and we used to work together at Domino's, and he's still at Domino's, and how crazy bonus week is, which is also Thanksgiving week and stuff, and the store that he's at is like very short on drivers. Of course, that is the case and stuff. And so I'm like hanging out with the cops and the QT. So this is funny, but that's part of being a delivery driver, was lots of that, hanging out in parking lots with cops. But he made the comment about, he was like, something about, not literally like sacrificing me, but like giving me up to like Domino's for this coming week to work. And I hadn't even thought about anything like that. I was like, just the idea of me working at Domino's again, even if it's just for a week, I was like, oh, life. He's like, he need, like, we've already planned on doing some work and stuff. Like, he's got a little bit of some stuff that he needs help with, and his family and whatnot this week that I'm going to be doing, but, it was just funny. He made that comment. He's like, pretty much, like, go work at Domino's for a week, like, because they don't have anybody, and, not in this car, but still, like, when it boils down to it, when, like, a business doesn't have any drivers, like, I could use somebody's car, so... It's kind of like sacrificing me to the pizza gods for a week. Man, that would be nice. It would be nice, like, because it's up in Travelers Rest, and it's really pretty up there. And I like cars, and it would be nice to, like, drive around in the mountains in Travelers Rest and Marietta and stuff for a week and make money, and just, someone else's vehicle. That sounds fun. That sounds great. Once I get through this winter time, I have managed to get myself into a financial situation to where I've minimized my bills as much as I can and stuff, and so once I get everything, like, plateaued and caught up, also since all my cognitive stuff is ironed out and whatnot, and it's staying good, and I've got social support, which keeps me, to be able to deal with emotional stuff, that keeps all the neurological stuff down, keeps everything ironed out and keeps me healthy in all ways, mentally, neurologically, and emotionally, so, like, behaviorally, so, those are all connected. Like, if one goes out, the others go out, that's super important, and I've got it, like, visualized out so I know what's connected to what, and that's pretty amazing. Oh, these cars keep coming in, I don't know why. Please don't hit me. Or my door. But, so, yeah, that felt good. I was like, just thinking about that, how fun that would be, but, maybe another time. Definitely not in this car. It's like, I'm not gonna be, hey, delivering pizzas or delivering anything in this car. It really is a point A to point B car. So I'm glad to be able to go to the gas station at 8 o'clock in the morning or 8:30, whatever time it is. That's really nice. Helps me wake up and think about stuff that I'm going to be doing. It's nice to have stuff to do, and I've got a bunch of stuff and plans and stuff to do this week, so that's awesome to keep me busy, and I feel good. Like I said, I slept really good this weekend, and I made myself do it. I'd rather have played video games or cleaned or something. I just was like, well, let's try to sleep, and I did, and I woke up super refreshed this morning, so that's great. And I am sitting in the gas station watching cars go by, so I gotta go to do schoolwork, and it's the end of the first week of a new class. It's like corporate communication or something. Like I said, it's the end of the week of the first week of this new class. They're a month at a time, so I have to go do a bunch of reading. So that's why I got my coffee. Gonna have dinner plans for tonight, so that's awesome. And I have people watching over me, so that's good in case I got good insurance in case my car shits out halfway on a plan. I'm not driving around all willy-nilly. So I've got all that ironed out, and that's really great. It keeps my fear level down, and have to stay aware of it constantly, like if my car is making any weird sounds or anything, because it is old. But I think that's all I wanted to talk about today and this morning. I just wanted to do a live catch up. It's my brother's 38th birthday today. We haven't talked in, next spring will be 6 years, which is what it is. That's just how he is. I don't know why he made that decision, but that's the decision he made. He's got some emotional problems, so I guess he decided that, came up with a bunch of reasons in his head that I was too much trouble and to deal with, but that's his problem, not mine. Even though I don't think it's right and I think he's stupid, that is his decision to make, just like it is my decision to make on who I talk to and stuff. And even though I want to go see my grandparents and stuff this week because it's Thanksgiving, I also don't want to get gaslit. So, Charlotte's calling me. Charlotte, North Carolina. But yeah, because I've worked so hard to get everything up in my emotionality and stuff, like staple and whatnot. My health is being gaslit's not fun, and I'm not quite to the point. Hell, I may never be to a point in their lifetimes where I can deal with that again. If they reach out, I can talk to them. But they're so mean and stuff, for me to be hey, I don't feel like being made fun of because my car is ugly, or telling me, somebody telling me I'm not doing something that they think that I should be doing, when I literally, would have to grow another pair of hands to do it. you know, that kind of stuff. Which I've gotten pretty good about, like, you know, when I have encountered those situations, I just sit quietly. Because it's like, you know, like, what do you say to somebody who's gaslighting you, you know, when they've been doing it to you for 40 years? It's like, okay, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It is one of those things, though, for a very, very, very many years, though, I could not deal with it. And so, but they also, like, people that gaslight you, like, they love to get a reaction out of you. And for the longest time in my life, for the majority of my life growing up and stuff, like, I just ignored it. Like, that was something growing up and in my 20s and stuff, I just, you know, turned my head and just kind of, you know, shut down. Like, I just disassociate. But then, like, once I was trying to do something, and I had stuff that, like, you know, they pretty much caught me up in it. Like, you know, I'm like, well, I've got a job that matters to me. You know, I've got a life and I'm trying to do stuff. And, like, so I go over there, and it was stuff, you know, it didn't matter if it was, like literally, you know, they were, like, cutting their nose off to spite their face kind of thing. Like, you know, it didn't even matter that it was something that they wanted me to be doing. Like, if they found any way to, like, get an emotional reaction out of me, you know, they would, like, gleefully and sadistically be happy. Like, it's really disturbing, super disturbing. But I am, you know, happy to be, like, able to ignore it, you know, again, and just, like, be in a situation where I just don't deal with it. So, and go on about my life and surround myself with people who aren't, you know, sadistic. And it's not even the manipulative thing, because the manipulation is a tactic of being sadistic, and, you know, enjoying just and seeing other people's pain and stuff. Like, it's really, really super gross. You know, it sucks that I've had to be around that. It sucks that that's been part of my life. But, you know, I am only 40, and it is one of those things that's like, you know, that is an education. I had somebody a couple years ago like, apologize. They, like, I try to make it into, like something that, like, they told me, pretty much doing exactly what they're doing. They're like, I'm sorry your family has taught you the worst about people. And I was like, you're sorry that I have an education? Like, how does that make sense? That doesn't make any sense, because at the end of the day, you know, they are my grandparents, and the majority of the people I know do not have their grandparents alive with them. And of course I want them to live, you know, even if they are sadistic. Like, I, you know, do not wish death on anybody or anything. That's not how the judicial system works and stuff. Like, they are definitely missing out on, you know, having a more full life with, you know, having less family around and stuff, and that's not my problem. That's the decision they made, because of their hobbies, like what I just explained. But the thing is that I have a better education, because I now, you know, as a person and stuff, like, am really educated on those type of people, and, you know, working, and I happen to be somebody with the medical things that I have, you know, it's hard for me to work in, like, the social fields and stuff. But because of them, it balances out. Like, I am pretty good working with, like, it took all of my 20s of me being able to, like, practice, like, you know, my early 20s and stuff, I had a hard time talking on the phone, you know, and I practiced. Like, it was hard for me to do all kind of stuff at, like, one time, like multitasking, like taking orders in a restaurant while also smiling and, like, making sure I was doing all this other stuff and getting their orders right, working the computer systems, like all that kind of stuff at the same time. And so practicing, you know, and dealing with, like, really fucked up people over and over and over again, you know, not only can I do it now and make money and support myself like, you know, anybody else, is something I wanted to do, because, like, you know, it's like being a server and that kind of stuff and working with the public, like there's all kind of jobs that, like, that is a main job. Like it's hard to work if you don't have those kind of skills. It's hard to support yourself if you don't have those kind of skills. And so the fact that I developed those skills and have them in me like kind of second nature now is really priceless. So I'm not thankful to them because you don't, you know, thank a dog that bit you for, like, you know, the money, the insurance money you get afterwards, but like, you know, it worked out. Like, so that's really great. You know, I did that, not the dog, not my grandparents. Like, you know, they are who they are, and it doesn't benefit anybody. So it's definitely not a thing that I'm stupid enough to be like, oh, thank you for hurting me or anything like that. Like, I don't, that's not the correct way to think about it. But, yep, I hope everybody enjoys their week and Thanksgiving preparation goes good and has a good Monday.